Nibblets is an innovative life simulation that combines classic principles of artificial intelligence with modern, large language models to create autonomous beings. Rather than following rigid rules, these creatures are driven by genetic traits, biological urges, and a complex memory system that shapes their unique personalities. Users act as observers within a dynamic 2D environment, influencing evolution through weather manipulation, resource management, and direct feedback. Technically, the system utilizes an asynchronous architecture to pair fluid animations with deep cognitive processes, such as decision-making and social interaction. The project's goal is a self-sustaining ecosystem where artificial organisms learn to adapt to threats and develop independent cultures and relationships. By linking physiology with linguistic logic, Nibblets creates an unpredictable sandbox that blurs the lines between software and digital life.
Today we're doing a deep dive into something really fascinating. If you've ever wondered what happens when you give video game characters actual functioning, evolving brains, well, this deep dive is for you. We're looking at Nibblets.
Yeah, Nibblets. I mean, if you were gaming back in the mid-90s, you probably remember a classic title called Creatures. And Nibblets basically takes that foundational idea of artificial life and just radically modernizes it.
Right, because we aren't talking about, simple finite state machines anymore. It's not just basic logic.
Exactly. They moved entirely away from that hard-coded logic. So instead, these digital organisms are powered by large language models and, well, some really intricate vector-based physiological background systems.
And the environment they live in is just as dynamic. For those of you listening, picture a 2D continuous space with diurnal cycles, dynamic weather, and my personal favorite, this experimental chaos mode.
Oh yeah, chaos mode is great. It randomly injects unpredictable events just to see how the population adapts. And your role in all this is pretty unique because you don't use a joystick or keyboard to control them directly.
Yeah, you act as this sort of omnipotent hand. You manipulate their world by dropping in apples for food, or a crackling fire, or toys.
Or books for them to read. Or even formidable predators if you want to really test them.
Which completely changes how you interact with the game. Since you can't force them to do anything, getting them to survive that predator comes down entirely to training.
Like positive and negative reinforcement.
Spot on. Using that same hand, you can tickle a creature to reward it or slap it as a punishment.
And that action directly alters its short-term memories and its emotional mapping toward whatever stimulus is nearby. You're literally shaping their psychological development.
The way they handle that cognition under the hood is actually pretty mind-blowing. Every simulation tick, the engine gathers up a creature's internal drive, so things like hunger, loneliness, or fatigue.
And it mixes those with their personality vectors, right? Like cheerfulness or neuroticism.
It does. It grabs their memories, too, packages all of that context, and feeds it straight to GPT-4 Mini. The AI then fires back a JSON object containing the creature's internal monologue, what it's going to say out loud, and the physical action it's going to take.
Getting that to run without lagging out your computer is a brilliant piece of engineering, honestly. The Pygame engine uses an asynchronous thread pool executor.
So the visual rendering stays perfectly smooth.
Exactly. It stays at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second while the creatures are thinking in the background.
And while they're thinking, they are pulling from a really deep well of information to make those decisions.
They really are. It's a multi-tier memory system. You have short-term memory, episodic memory for major life events, semantic memory for learning rules, and they even track relationship affinities.
So they remember who their friends and enemies are.
Right. And it goes beyond just one generation, which is wild. When they mate, the system actually mixes their genetics to spawn entirely new, mutated eggs.
Bringing this back to you, the listener, what we're looking at here is a massive leap forward. We're stepping way out of the era of hard-coded video game NPCs that just repeat the same 3 lines of dialogue over and over.
We are moving into the realm of truly emergent, self-sustaining ecosystems. These creatures are living, learning, and reacting in real time.
which definitely makes you wonder where this kind of simulation is heading next.
It leaves you with something heavy to chew on after we wrap up today. Think about it. If a simulated creature processes a genuine internal monologue, forms semantic memories, like learning that fire is bad, and dynamically adjusts its relationships based on shared experiences.
It really blurs the line.
It does. At what point does this stop being a simple gaming sandbox and start serving as a terrifyingly accurate petri dish for